know that if an individual doesn't think something is a crime, that doesn't mean they're innocent in their actions. And today we are here to prove that Kate Barbie is, in fact, transphobic, in fact, a danger and conspiring to defame and be ignorant to the Black community and the BIPOC community. We're also going to prove today that Kate Barbie is also censoring herself in a lot of situations, a lot of conversations. We have witness testimony that could come up today and speak about this.
Oh, my bad. I thought you was done. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So we know that anti-Black is going to be or defined as being harmful to Black people. Definition of transphobia that we have here is fear, aversion, hatred, or violence, anger towards people who do not conform to the social gender roles. And today I will be proving that not only has Kay been anti-Black with her rhetoric that is harmful to Black people, not only will I show that she fits the description of transphobia with the rhetoric that she has spewed on TikTok, but I will also show how her backing of being in a MAGA cult is also harmful to Black people.
Okay. Is that the total opening statement? Do we have that?
It's just one more.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. Today we gather 168 of us to seek justice. Because we, as a society, TikTok society, want to have a society that's governed on morality. And today, my assistant DAs will, in fact, lay out beyond a reasonable doubt that Kay has committed these crimes presented. That's all, Your Honor.
Okay. So, counselor, defense counselor, are you ready to make your opening statement?
Yes. Thank you, Judge, for that introduction. I would like to point out that my client is being charged with ridiculous crimes that are completely unprovable. They are based solely off of opinion, not fact. They also so graciously said in their opening statements that they've already conceded that they cannot prove any sort of intent in said charges. So I really appreciate that. So I guess they're going to amend their charges now because they're saying that there was no intent behind it. So voluntary of some sort or just by some sort of happenstance. So I would motion for the judge to request from the prosecution if they are going to amend said charges at this time.
Absolutely not.
Judge.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was on mute. I haven't been drinking, so straight faced right now. So now we're about to go into discovery mode. We're about to start talking about the.
Judge, I'm sorry. Point of order.
Okay.
Can you rule on my motion?
And your motion, once again, repeat your motion. Your motion.
I would like to get clarity on the charges because I would assume that prosecution would like to file a motion to amend on said charges, since in their opening statement they clearly stated that they cannot prove intent on said charges, which would be these charges would not be with willful intent; they would be involuntary.
Your Honor, I would like to submit that under oath, if asked, Kay would know about their actions and the harm of these actions. And then after finding out about the harm of these actions, Kay still continued to participate in these egregious charges that were harmful to the trans community and Black community as a whole. So their intent is known and they're being notified of, in fact, the harm that this rhetoric and their rhetoric causes and their actions cause. And still, in spite of this, continue to perpetuate those actions on marginalized communities, knowing that it causes damage and harm.
So counsel, is your position that she did so with intent?
Specifically with the trans community, Kay has shown to be very transphobic and have an aversion to. And I believe in that aversion that it shows intent.
Okay, great. So can I then, if we're not going to do a motion to amend, then can I do a motion to strike the opening statement by counsel who said that she did not exhibit intent?
Who said that?
You did.
No, I that's not what I said. I said while she may not knowing what she did, that does not take away from the fact that
that's intent.
yeah, but not knowing, still not knowing intent does not neglect the crime that happened. Just because you don't know you are robbing a store does not mean that you are not robbing a store.
Right, but counsel, it would amend the charges, wouldn't it?
No, the charges still stand. It's our job to prove it.
So are you giving her intent or no?
The motherfucker said she don't care. It's intent. Intent is intent.
When did I say I don't care?
Well, wait a minute. Are you asking the state to change our charges?
Can we get some? Can we get some?
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, Judge. Yeah, I'm just trying to understand. She asking the state to change our charges that we have to prove.
Well,
that
Your
she can
Honor.
easily disprove.
Well, Your Honor, respectfully, in counsel's opening statement, the charges were that she did these things. One prosecutor is saying that there was intent. The other prosecutor opened up and said that there was an intent. So either we need to file a motion to strike the opening statement or a motion to amend the charges. You can't have it both ways.
So the lead prosecutor, Liv, made it clear. That's the assistant district attorney there. So what we're going to do, when you ask them to clarify, they clarified what's going on. I understand what you're saying. I'm just going to have to say, Dark Spiffy, in this particular trial, it looks like you're going to have to watch your wording. This is your first and only warning on that. First and only warning.
What word?
Intent. Well, okay. Now, some offenses don't have to show intent though. Some do. Some charges don't have to show intent, and some do. So, what is the nature of this charge? That first of all, give me some clarification. Do y'all intend to show intent or not?
To the transphobia, there is in fact intent that can be shown in regards to the anti-blackness. Intent is not a qualifier.
Okay, so in anti-blackness, intent is not a qualifier, but in transphobia, intent is a qualifier. Okay?
It's because we can prove that this individual knew the harm and the rhetoric that they were saying, and typically, despite that harm, look to justify that bigotry, knowing that it was going to cause harm. So they knew the impact of their actions, and they knew that it would cause harm, and this would justify their intent to cause that harm.
Okay. So we're going to move forward with my ruling is we're going to just move forward with the trial based on that, but with the warning, the strict warning of I can't let anything else slide, so make sure you watch your words. Okay. Here's the warning being, conservative lens is going to watch you.
Wait a minute, Mr. Your Honor, did I specify what intent it was being used for? Or did I just say
okay, sir? That is absolutely okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I would say this is okay.
Well, I mean, again, you have two prosecutors arguing. One is saying that intent is required, and the other one is saying that intent is required. So I need to figure out, in order to provide a proper defense for my client, if I'm going to be arguing, if I'm going to be defending her intent or not.
Yeah, so Your Honor, I disagree with that. You've already made your ruling. I'd like to move on.
Yes. Okay. So
you're a prosecutor.
Here's the clarification. I'll clarify for you. In the anti-blackness charges, intent doesn't have to be shown. In the transphobia charges, intent has to be shown because simple fact, you can be anti-black and not know it. We just convicted someone of that 2 days ago. So intent is not necessary for anti-blackness, but intent is necessary for transphobia. So you can defend your client according to those parameters.
For the clarification, Your Honor.
Okay, so let's go with opening statements. I mean, not opening statements. Let's open discovery now. Let's talk about your exhibits you have and so forth, so on and so forth. Let's see some evidence. Come on.
What are you showing, T-Bone?
Exhibit A. Please put me on the big screen.
Big screen house, boss house, house boss, bailiff boss. Big screen. There we go.
Sorry. Yeah, so this is Exhibit A, as we can see K being in that top left box with the rest of the MAGA cult or other members of the MAGA cult as they're using harmful rhetoric. This is just one of the many pictures that we have. There are a plethora of other pictures that we have as it pertains to these people putting harmful rhetoric into the chat as it pertains to the boxes that they were using, things of that nature. This is Exhibit A.
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
What do you mean? What?
Well, you're
Excuse me?
just because she was present doesn't necessarily mean that she said anything, right?
She can speak for herself when we bring her up to the stand.
Can you substantiate anything that she said?
We're laying the groundwork.
Absolutely, we can, but we haven't gotten to that point yet. This is evidence that she is in that box. We'll question her when we get to that point.
Okay,
Your Honor, point of order.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I would like for my prosecution team to be able to finish points without interruption. I think that it lacks decorum in your courtroom.
Like, what do you think an objection is?
Yes, Your Honor. So I'd like them to be able to finish.
Testimony
Your Honor.
until an
Thank you.
objection is either overruled or sustained. This isn't a debate. This is
In
court.
the middle, Your Honor, I'm actually in the middle of a sentence. Like at some point, you had to at least let my prosecution team finish the sentence so that we can have clarity. Because I don't want any issues as earlier individuals getting words misconstrued as we proceed in our case. Because words clearly matter in this case and how words are being phrased in this case. And so if individuals can't get the full sentence out, I believe that it would lack context. So all I'm asking is that I'm not taking away the ability to object, but can we also ensure that the prosecution has an opportunity to clarify and not be gish-galloped?
Okay, so this is what will happen. Conservative lens will make an objection. Then you can get to clarify. Once she makes the objection, you can get to clarify. Then I'll decide whether to sustain or overrule. And just in this case, just like in this case, has anyone on that particular page live actually been convicted of being anti-black? Because if not, if we go on that parameter, we're also looking at T-Bone in the same last slide.
You're presenting
There
Wait.
are charges against Bleach Demon. He is still on the run.
Right. So
lack of foundation.
You haven't
Well, you've already objected. I haven't ruled on your first objection. This is about your objection.
Well,
Okay.
but respectfully, he started going again.
No, I stopped him. We were in me just trying to decide whether or not to overrule or sustain. And in actuality, I was in the process of sustaining your objection because of the simple fact we can't prove any of those people have been convicted of being anti-white, including the fact that T-Bone is in the very picture that he brought up as evidence to prove that she was anti-black.
Your Honor.
Okay. So I'm sorry for y'all. I'm doing this for your own good. Objection sustained. And that's for your own good. Lens, I would have let that ride though. I'm just saying. I'd have used that later.
T-Bone, now you could have at least used something of substance against me. Jesus.
that was definitely of substance.
Your Honor, I would like
we
for
can strike it if y'all want to.
counsel make sure
their client is being important and correct in court and not speaking out of turn, or their state would like to push forward a gag order until she's called to the stand.
Okay.
Just to clarify, Mr. Judge, am I not allowed to use any picture then as it pertains to these lives that took place? Because the
only proof in these pictures that, well, you know what? Just present what you have, and we'll see if defense counsel is going to object or not. Okay.
So if I can't use the pictures, then I'm going to have to call her to the stand as it pertains to what happened on those days, because there's no reason for me to put this up if I'm not able to use it.
I'm saying put them up, and we'll see. It's the defense lawyer's right to object. So I can't say what Lynch is going to do.
Okay, hold on, give me a second.
And the gag order was just we wasn't making that motion, but we were saying if she continues to act out in court, we will request a motion for a gag order be in place.
Okay, Sugar Plum, make sure you just talk to your counsel before you interrupt court. Okay, Honey Dumpling.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
Objection. And the defendant are friendly. And this is
okay.
a case. So,
hey, in the case of Rittenhauer, judges are allowed to be friends with. Not just playing with you.
So, just to clarify, most of the pictures that I have are going to be, as I said, as it pertains to the live that took place. So, if we're not able to use that first picture, then we wouldn't be able to use the other ones. I would argue that it's important for us to be able to use these pictures for the counts of her being in the MAGA cult, as well as anti-blackness.
Objection. Lack of foundation.
We haven't even been able to set a foundation.
Well, Your Honor, respectfully, I mean, screenshots, unless it's something that's visual, if they're talking about something that was verbal or by audio and they don't
we haven't even been able to ask questions.
Right. We can't even get to that point.
We can't even get to
All I want to do is
Your
put this in as evidence, and then once we call Kate to the stand, she would be able to explain that for themselves, Lynn.
Right. Can I finish my objection? If all you're doing is you're showing screenshots, if the screenshots don't have something visible, and you're stating that this audio took place, if you don't have the audio to play, then I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, then it's just hearsay. Yeah. From that point, it's just hearsay.
We have yet to even present a claim yet, Your Honor. We just we have submitted evidence and it has been ejected, but we haven't even been able to talk about the evidence. So there's no foundation to lay. There's no reason to make objection with no foundation. And we haven't even been able to have the opportunity to say anything about a foundation.
Yeah, but it's
point of information. Lynn's is out of order. She out of order. She out of order.
Counsel can object to any evidence prior to it.
Absolutely, and I'm speaking to the honor. I'm not speaking to the counsel. I'm speaking to the honor.
Just for my own curiosity, I actually want to see where this is leading, to see if they're going to be able to substantiate any claims. Now, anything said that person said in this live will be classified as hearsay because there's no audio to this. But I'm going to allow you this time to show me where you're going with this. Okay? I want to know where you're going with this. Objection overruled on this particular situation.
Thank you, Your Honor. I also have another audio, but we're going to have to get her up on the stand in order for us to be able to do that.
Okay. Now, continue to tell me what this is about. I want to know what this is about. What does this prove?
So this is as it pertains to a live that took place where a whole bunch of MAGA people were inside of the boxes where they were spewing harmful rhetoric to black people. Kay the Barbie is actually in this box, and we're going to question her as it pertains to what took place on that day, why she was there, things of that nature.
Objection, speculation.
I told you once again, I gotta hear where this goes.
Could have sworn that was
I gotta hear where
overruled.
that's going. Yeah,
Well,
I gotta hear where this is going.
Your Honor, respectfully, I objected on different grounds. I'm objecting based off of the statements that he's making. It's speculation.
That he hadn't finished his statement to see if it's speculation yet, though.
That if that happens again.
But Your Honor, respectfully, he stated that this was a MAGA cult meeting, and I don't see anything in there that says anything about
I
MAGA.
was just, if you allow me, I was just about to ask him how can he prove that this was a MAGA cult meeting? Trust me, I'm not. I know a little bit about what I'm doing, just a little bit. I want to know how you can substantiate the claim that this is a MAGA meeting. Are any of those people known MAGA offenders?
Absolutely.
Yes, we have counts against.
Name? Can we?
Yes,
can we
so we have.
Can you prove that?
Demon. We have.
Can you substantiate that?
So we have charges against Bleach Demon for the same. Mr. Justice, you out of order. So we have charges pending right now as it pertains to Chocolate Drop Tony as well as Bleach Demon for being in the MAGA cult.
Objection, Your Honor. Lack of foundation. Charges are not convictions.
The judge has
Can we get
just
some order up
asked
in here?
us,
Every time I open my mouth, Judge, she out of order.
Every time.
The
Every time, Your Honor.
But the only thing the only problem I'm forced with is there is no legal precedence that limits me from stopping her from saying objection.
Yeah, and so, Your Honor, I would just point out that individuals on that panel, on that background, have in fact admitted themselves that they support MAGA. Have in fact even gone as far as to purchase MAGA shoes. This is not hearsay.
Objection, hearsay.
I believe that Belinda would be in here, would be able to testify, if called to the stand, that she has in fact purchased a pair of MAGA shoes for herself and her husband. And she was on that panel. So when we're talking about a MAGA meeting,
lack of foundation, though, counsel. Because because Belinda did something doesn't mean that Kay is.
So can we get I can actually go through the rest of the panel as well.
Can we
picture back up?
Can I get the big screen, Hall Boss, please, real quick? I think we have a.
One second. Before we do that, I also want to point out that Jam and Lou, Mister, and the individual with the monkey emoji, is in fact MAGA, right? And as well as prosecution here. And so I would argue that.
Your Honor, objection relevance to counsel Spiff. Posting this, I am not a party to this case in terms of having to defend myself in any way.
There's just a conflict of interest here. I believe.
Clear bias, Your Honor.
A conflict of.
Yes,
I was asked to come up here.
We would like to file a motion to impeach conservative lands from this trial expeditiously because of this conflict of interest.
You tried to disqualify me as an expert witness earlier, and now you're trying to disqualify me as the attorney. Just say.
All right, can I ask you something, conservative lens?
Sure, Your Honor.
Honestly, I approach the bench. So is it is to my understanding that many of the people involved that you're calling objection hearsay are actually mutuals of yours. Is this true?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Can you repeat the question?
It is to my understanding that many of the people in that picture of which you keep objecting to are mutuals of yours, right?
No.
Your Honor, can we? I'd like to move perjury. Can we put this back on the screen? Because I believe that's MOD with the monkey background. I'm not sure. I saw.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is.
Is that MOD right there?
Can't even see that.
Correct.
Okay, so with the monkey background, and T-Bone, are you able to use your finger to be able to point specifically?
I see it already.
Yes, and so I would, Your Honor, Seeing as how there are pending charges already against conservative Lynn and MOD currently.
I'm going to ask you, are you sure about what you're about to do?
Your Honor, respectfully, most of the people on that panel, I'm not mutuals with. Also, there's no way for me to tell that was MOD as her profile picture was not up.
Yeah, so, Your Honor,
Big box, please.
Your Honor, question. Can I quick question, Your Honor? Point of order. Because initially, conservative Lynn said that she didn't know anybody on that panel. Now she said she knew not everyone on that panel. So I just need clarity. Did she know people on that panel, or did she not know people on this panel? I'm not sure.
And can I get a big box, please?
You asked me if I was friends with the people on that panel.
Sure. And so we have here, I would argue, Exhibit B.
Mm-hmm.
This is the following list of a defense attorney, conservative Lynn. I believe one of those individuals.
No, none of those were up there, actually.
So one of those individuals T-Bone had up was Moon Goon. I believe that Moon Goon is the individual right there.
Moon Goon was not up there.
Please put me back in the big box.
Where?
I'm sorry, right next to MOD to the left. We don't see that?
That is Moon Goon.
That is
Okay, so order in my motherfucking court. Order in my court, goddammit. Order in my court. Now,